everyone, it's time for another Marvel Crisis Protocol Battle Report, but first I saw her cameo again. Nope, never mind, she heard me. She is going into her bed, she's staring at me, she's laying down. Okay, never mind. So today we have for you 17th threat of the Black Order versus... Oh, this is the OG Cabal. This is from the starter box. So this will be interesting. Let's take a closer look at the teams and we'll just jump straight in. So the lamppost temporarily moved out of the way. This is the Cabal, as said, from the original starter box. I guess kind of well timed if they are really going to maybe reveal a new starter box or some kind of like, who knows. At the end of July they're revealing something and it's involving the X-Men by the looks of things. People have been surmising for a long time it's going to be a starter set. I think it might be like a Christmas special edition or something like that. We'll see. Anyway, the Cabal from the box, Ultron, Doc Ock, Red Skull leading them, of course, Baron Zemo and Crossbones. And their tactics cards: Cosmic Invigoration, Advanced R&D, Recalibration Matrix, The Age of Ultron, and Dark Reign. We'll see how they fare against the newest villains on the block. So here are the Black Order sans Thanos. He has not arrived yet. He arrives exactly when he means to. So this is everybody other than him, because you can't really put all of them into a team together. They're too many threat. But we have Corvus Glaive in the back there, Black Dwarf, Ebony Maw, who's sort of like the pseudo-leader when Thanos isn't here, although there is no affiliation bonus because Thanos isn't on the table, and Proxima Midnight. Corvus is equipped with the Reality Gem, which is just a one-threat Reality Gem. Personally, I think it's the best of the one-threat gems. When rolling dice as part of an attack, defense, dodge, or interact, so that includes interacting with objectives, you treat a skull as a crit, which is just a super good passive in my opinion. The other tactics cards on offer are Price of Failure, Mothership, Execute, Blood to Spare, and Shh. Simple as that. So let's go over the missions. As you've probably already seen it's set up, but we can go over the details because one of them is new. So here are our crisis cards for the day. The 17th threat is being played, even though this one is 16. Spider-Infected Invade Manhattan. Haven't played that mission for a long time. There's 5 on the board that we'll take a look at in a second to show you properly. You can pick them up if you interact and spend power. If you hold, well, you can only hold one, and if you hold one in the cleanup phase, you score. But also in the power phase of the preceding turn, you could get moved small. And then this new mission, Cosmic Invasion, Black Order Descends on Earth, it seemed apt because this is the first showing of the Black Order. This is also the card from the Thanos box. There is 4 Cosmic Vaults. If you control them at the cleanup phase, you score a victory point, but also during the power phase, they could unleash a powerful blast and send you flying. That's the gist of it if we just zoom out. So the Cosmic Vaults, 1, 2, 3, 4 Spider-Infected, smack dab in the middle, and then the 4 angles like that as well. Don't know who's deploying on which side, so we'll be back once that's all settled and we see who's going first as well. So we're all set up and ready to go. It will be the Black Order taking first activation in Battle Round 1, speaking of which they are deployed to your camera right, and the Cabal are on the camera left, and we can take a better look here. Doc Ock and Baron Zemo, Red Skull, Crossbones, Ultron, and over here we have Black Dwarf and Ebony Maw together because Corvus and Proxima work so well together, they've got to be together. So they're up there, and obviously they're going to be doing a mad sprint turn 1 for the Spider-Infected, and then also trying to secure some of those Cosmic Vaults as well. Is that what they're called? Yeah, they are Cosmic Vaults. And we'll see if anyone gets blasted away by them at the start of turn 2. Anyway, with that, let's get the game started. So Ebony Maw got the game started. He did a move action to approximately there, spent 1 of his 3 power, because he has a passive that gives him 2 additional, to pick up the Spider-Infected, then did another medium move to secure this Cosmic Vault there, thus ending his turn. Also as a reminder, just in case you aren't aware, Corvus also gets an additional 1 power in the power phase because he has one of the Infinity Gems. The Red Skull himself got the game started for the Cabal. He moved up medium to secure the Cosmic Vault right there. Then he tapped the cube, which counts as an action. For 3 power, he rolls 5 dice. For every skull he takes 1 damage, so he did manage to hurt himself with the Cosmic Cube for 1 damage. Then he spent that to move Crossbones within 2 of himself, just to give, because Crossbones needs a hand getting in there, so he's moved up. He's also currently securing that, but he may end up moving once he actually gets his activation, but for now, it is back over to the Black Order, unless they choose to pass. Black Dwarf was next to activate, and he only moves small, but he is obviously on a Hulk-sized base, which does help him cover some distance, and he was obviously only part of his base was touching the 3-inch, or sorry, not 3-inch, range 3 you're supposed to be in for deployment. So as a result, he was able to move small twice for his actions, and he was, if you had an overhead view, he was within one of the central objective. So he spent a power to pick up the spider infected that was there. He has abandoned this vault here, but he wanted to snatch that middle spider infected. So back over to the Cabal. Baron Zemo was next up, and he opted to ignore that spider infected to move long and then like medium-ish to get into competitive range for the vault here, so that Ebony Maw is not claiming it. They're both competing for it, and it'll probably end up being a draw unless Doc Ock can get over there. But I don't know if Doc Ock can grab that spider infected and get to that vault at the same in the same turn. I guess we'll see. Now it's either over to Proxima Corvus or a pass. So Corvus moved a kind of diagonal to behind the truck there that I just hit into with the camera by accident, to spend one power of his 2 to pick up the spider infected that was there, and then he could just hop over that because it was so short. So he has gone over here to secure this vault and hopefully fend off any kind of contesting from Ultron. And speaking of Ultron, it's either over to him, Crossbones, or Doc Ock next. So via 2 medium moves for his activation, Doc Ock was able to get next to the spider infected, next to his bigger base, spend his 1 power to pick it up, and then move over so that he is contesting this vault, and with Zemo being there as well, they now hold majority, so they are claiming that vault. So now it's just Proxima and then back over to Ultron and Crossbones. So Proxima didn't have much choice. She needs to secure a different vault, so she left her husband, I don't mean in like the divorce sense, and moved twice around here so that she's just within one of this cosmic vault, so she is holding it because Black Dwarf is nowhere near, and that's it. She didn't do anything else as per normal with this game. Turn 1 is just a load of positioning. So Crossbones activated, he moved small to get close enough to pick up the spider infected that was in the car park there, and then immediately just moved small back so that he's securing this in case Red Skull, almost called him Red Hood. It's been a while to help him secure that and potentially hold it so Red Skull can go off and do what he wants. Now it's just over to Ultron to end battle round 1. So via the power of flight, Ultron just did a double move as well, 2 mediums on top of the building here. Sorry, and if I can just get the camera angle, he is within 1 of that, so he is contesting the vault that Corvus is holding, and with that it's time to enter the cleanup. So although the spider infected and the vaults do something, it happens in the power phase, so we're not going to cover that till we move into turn 2. So for now, they just score. So then about round 1, it's all even though there is a odd, that's the word, odd number of spider infected, 3 of which are being held by the Black Order, and 2 of which are being held by the Cabal. 2 vaults are being contested, 1 vault is being contested. This vault is held by the Cabal, and this vault was held by the Cabal, and that vault was held by the Black Order, so the difference of 1 is made up there from the spider infected, meaning that as we go into battle round 2, 4 victory points each. So at the start of battle round 2, both objective crisis cards have things activate in the power phase, and I'm not sure if there's anything in the rules about prioritising, like do you do the crisis that you've picked the power level for to resolve first or not, because they both happen simultaneously. Don't know. The way we did it was that the crisis that was being played was done first, and then the other one was done after. No, sorry, the other way around. The cosmic vaults happened first, then the spider infected happened second, but most of the results were zeros. So anyway, the cosmic vault, if it is a crit or a wild on a roll, you gain 2 power, but then are pushed away small by your opponent. As Red Skull falls over. Red Skull was indeed pushed by the cosmic vault. He got 2 power and was pushed forwards into Black Dwarf's threat area. Crossbones, he was also knocked back by the vault, gained 2 power. Spider infected, if you roll a hit, wild, or a crit, you get moved small by your opponent. Ebony Maw was moved there. Crossbones was moved even further back, so even though he's holding a spider infected, he's now he's hopelessly far away. And that was it. Everyone else did not roll the required dice. So we're now ready to go into the first activation of Battle Round 2 with the Black Order going first. So Ebony Maw was the first one to activate, and he was sitting on a bit of power because again he gets 3 in every power phase. So he did Herald of Doom for 4, which is an 8 mystic attack, And what's massive about that attack is the enemy is not allowed to gain power for damage dealt by the attack, which is massive, massive, massive. It also does a small throw when it's resolved, or before it's resolved. Either way, he did it on Baron Zemo, and Baron Zemo, even though like, he and Doc Ock both have 4 in Mystic Defense, but against 8 dice and there was a couple of crits, he took 4 damage from it. Then with the added on throw, he was chucked into Doc Ock. He takes 1 automatic damage, which brought him to 5, which was enough to daze him, so he is dazed. Doc Ock whiffed his dodge roll a little bit, took 2 damage, and then for Ebony's other action, just did a move to be back into securing the Cosmic Vault there. Good old Worm Tongue there had a very effective turn. Let's see how the Cabal respond. Red Skull activated, and first of all he unleashed the cube for 4 power or 3 power, whatever it costs, and he did it on Black Dwarf, who has 3 energy defense. It did 2, well sorry, it did 3, but he has Invincible Skin, which reduces the damage by 1 to a minimum of 1, so it went down to 2. But a wild meant that it also, well sorry, it does a throw by default, so he was thrown into Proxima for 1 damage, and she managed to do her dodge roll though. But then also wild means it does reality warp, so he and anyone within one of him gets stunned. So he and Proxima are stunned. Then for his other action he went back to where he was, so he's claiming the vault there just in case Crossbones can't get near it. So that was a pretty good turn for him. Back over to the Black Order. So that was a busy activation for the Black Order, so we're going to have to go through it. Corvus Glaive was the one who activated, and first of all Mothership was played, one of the new cards. So this is 2 Black Order characters that may spend 2 power each to play this card. Corvus and Proxima both spent 2 power. Place one of the 2 characters not holding an objective token within one of the other. Proxima is not holding an objective, he's carrying one of the spider infected, so she was teleported over there to within one of him. The plan was that they were going to do their marital role because they're husband and wife, so that she could just immediately activate if he didn't finish off Ultron. As it turns out though, didn't need to. Corvus with the reality gem obviously, so 1 skull is counting as a crit in attack, defense, interact, dodge rolls. Did 2 basic strikes, both of which had a pierce on it as well to negate 1 successful defense from Ultron. 3 and 3, so Ultron got dazed, which means teleporting Proxima over there didn't really serve a purpose. It was contingency. So either way, Ultron ain't getting a turn this turn, and Corvus is done. So Doc Ock activated, and he had one heck of a turn. He just did a basic strike that has Flurry of Arms. Because of what happened afterwards, couldn't keep the roll to show you, but the roll was 3 wilds and a crit, and the crit rolled a crit. And Flurry of Arms means for every wild in the result, it counts as 2 hits. So basically he had, I think it was 8 damage coming in. Maw blocked 1 with his 2 defense dice. Maw took 7 damage. Maw is dazed. So he just got 1 shot by a basic strike. That was an unbelievable roll. However, it did mean that Blood to Spare could be triggered, because I believe the way it works is you would get the power from the damage you took, and then at that point you realise, oh, you're dazed. Blood to Spare is when you're applying a dazed effect to a character, a Black Order character, they can spend 3 power to play this. They can perform an attack before gaining the dazed token. If this attack results in the character removing damage, it is not dazed. It's weird, this is Black Order only. Is there any Black Order character that can heal off of attacks? I don't think there is there? Maybe Thanos can? Either way. So he spent 3 to play this in the reaction, and he also spent 4 to do the Herald of Doom again, which is all the power he got from the damage he took to be dazed. He did it on Doc Ock, didn't roll nearly as well this time. Doc Ock just took 2 damage, he's got 1 health left I think. So Maw has obviously been dazed, he dropped his spider infected. You can only hold 1 though, and Doc Ock already has 1, so it's just sitting out there in the field. But that was an amazing turn for Doc Ock. Now it's over to Proxima or Black Dwarf. So a somewhat boring activation for Black Dwarf considering everything that's been happening in this turn, but he just moved back to claim this vault and then shook his stun condition for nothing else to do. There's no one in range to attack. Speaking of no one else in range to attack, the last activation for the Cabal this turn is going to be Crossbones, who's over there. And as you might expect, all Crossbones did for his activation was double short move. It did bring him back in within 1 of that vault, so he's helping Red Skull hold it. And now it's over to Proxima, who doesn't have any targets because Ultron's dazed. I don't know, she'll probably either sit still or just do a double move maybe. So Proxima shook her stun and then did 1 long move to where you can see her right there, and that's all she could do. So we are at the end of battle round 2. The objectives now score, and then again as we roll into battle round 3, that's when they do the vaults do the burst, and the spider infected wriggle around and move people. So score wise, it's staying entirely even because of that one spider infected that Moz dropped and left on the floor because Doc Ock can't hold two of them. So this vault is being held by the Cabal. This vault is being held by the Cabal. Black Order is holding this one. Black Order is holding that one. Black Dwarf and Corvus both have spider infected, and Doc Ock and Crossbones both have spider infected. So as we go into battle round 3 and we check who gets moved and whatnot, it's still even for both teams with 8 victory points each. At the start of battle round 3, it will be the Cabal going first. The Cosmic Vault over here pushed back Baron Zemo, just him. Over here, Crossbones was pushed back by this vault, and that was it. Spider Infected moved Black Dwarf, so he got moved further back. Crossbones is getting bullied and got moved back as well, and Doc Ock with his Spider Infected got moved back as well. So with that, we're ready to get started proper. Cabal going first. Let's do this. So perhaps unsurprisingly, it was Baron Zemo who activated first. He did a move, spent power to pick up the Spider Infected, then did a Steel Rush on Maw, rolled fantastically, 4 hits and a crit, I believe it was, something like that. Either way, Maw did use 2 power to try and do his immense psychic defense, so he rolled 6 defense dice, just couldn't do it. He took 5 damage, he has 4 health on his wounded side. Ebony Maw is down, I repeat, Ebony Maw is down, so he is gone, and now it's over to the Black Order to see what they can do about that. So Corvus decided to activate, stayed where he was and went for Ultron, even knowing what was inevitable. He did a Death Blow, which didn't do that well, he only did 2 damage. Then he did a Strike, which did fantastically, including a couple of pierce hits. Oh no, Ultron took 5 damage, which would be enough to kill him because he was on his wounded side, but no, because he had 10 power. So he spent 8 of that power to do the Age of Ultron, when he would be KO'd. Instead, he is not removed from the battlefield. You take off all his special conditions, flip his card to the healthy side, remove all damage, drop any objectives, he wasn't holding any, and he can move within 3 of his current location, but he doesn't want to because he's holding the objective. It's an OP card, it's ridiculously powerful, I hate it, but hey, Ultron's up and kicking, knew it was coming, that's why Proxima started moving. Back over to the Cabal. Red Skull activated, and man, things took a drastic turn against the Black Order. Thanos is going to be furious when he arrives. But in all seriousness, the rolls for the Cabal have just been amazing. Case in point, Red Skull stayed where he was, did 2 Cosmic Blasts, what are they called? Yeah, Cosmic Blasts, 1 each. First one sapped the only power on her, second one and did 3 damage. Second one all in all did 4, although keep in mind she has the reduced damage by 1, so it actually was 4 and 5. Here's the initial roll for the second blast. 2 hits, 3 crits, and then of those 3 crits there was 1 other success. That's the kind of rolling the Cabal have been doing. That is not an isolated instant. That is at least the 3rd time such a roll has been done. Some cosmic force is at play here, so Proxima is dazed and will not be getting an activation. It's just over to Black Dwarf for the Black Order. So perhaps unsurprisingly, Black Dwarf did what he could do and was just moving forwards, securing this back vault, but what else can you do? You can't compete with dice rolls like that. So now Doc Ock and Ultron just get to do whatever they like to bring us to the end of turn 3. So there's still Ultron to go, but just showing completely forgot that Crossbones also hadn't done anything. He did a double move to secure that vault. That's his turn. Doc Ock moved and is also just helping Baron Zemo secure this vault. Obviously he's moved around this side a little bit, perhaps he wants to go do a steel play, we'll see. So it's just Ultron now to end off the turn. Finally feels like there was a little bit of luck. Ultron stayed where he was, did 2 basic strikes for his actions, and both of them could not get through Corvus's defense. The Reality Gem helped out a ton on both rolls, however, it's worth pointing out, by counting 1 skull result as a crit instead. So, let's see how the scoring goes. So thanks to some amazing dice rolls and just happenings in that turn, the Cabal have pulled ahead. The Cabal hold this vault, the Cabal hold this vault. Black Order hold this one is contested between the 2 of them. Spider Infected wise, Doc Ock holds 1, Baron Zemo holds 1, Crossbone holds 1 for 3 total, Black Dwarf holds 1, Corvus holds 1. So as we go into battle round 4, which is winning territory for the Cabal, if things carry on the way they are, and obviously we've still got to do the vaults and the spider movement, etc. They're on 13, playing 11. So as we go into battle round 4, the vaults have done their thing, as have the spider infected. I love that every time Crossbones thinks he's going to get into the fight. Either the vault pushes him back or the spider infected he's carrying, or both, push him back. He's I'm going to do it, I'm going to help you, Red Skull, and then he's just pushed back again to do nothing. Doc Ock and Baron Zemo both got shoved back. Ultron got shoved back by the vault. He took 2 power as a result, or gained 2 power I should say. And Black Dwarf with the spider infected was pushed backwards into the cart again. And it will be, oh sorry, that day's token should not be there anymore because she's up. It will be the Black Order going first. And they have to, if everything stays as it is, the Cabal have already won because they have 3 spider infected. So that at least 1 spider infected has to go down. So Proxima had one job, and that was get a spider infected out of someone's hands, and Doc Ock is wounded. He's 1 away, 2 away from being dazed. He would drop it. So she did a long move to get within range to do a starburst, whatever, opal fruit attack. Oops, I knocked down a bit of scenery. So she did that on him. It rolled badly. He rolled pretty well for his defense and took no damage. And because she moved before doing that, she has nothing else she can do. So you know what is being done? Price of Failure is being played because she's failed me for the last time. Choose an injured allied character to play this card. Proxima has played it on herself. Other allied characters gain 3 power. The chosen character is KO'd. She's dead. Black Dwarf and Corvus have both gained 3 power. That is probably more useful than her. So it is basically already over, but because Corvus and Black Dwarf are sitting on so much power, we're just going to quickly play on for the memes. But there was a wasted turn by the Cabal here just to move up and secure the vault with Crossbones, because then that forces one of them to activate. But again, there's no point holding on to the objectives because they've lost already. Might as well go for damage. So there was a little bit of a Pyrrhic victory for the Black Order when Corvus activated. He did a move up onto where you can see him. He did Glaive's End Death Blow for like 4 plus 3 power and got the flurry, so did a basic strike afterwards. 5 damage and then followed by 4 damage. Ultron is re-dazed and will not get a turn. He's still within 1 to be claiming that vault, but that's essentially the end of the game. Black Dwarf isn't going to reach anybody, he's just claiming that vault. Those two want to stay safe because they each have a civilian, a spider infected I mean, and holding that vault. So that does take us to the scoring phase for Battle Round 4, and the Cabal taking it. So it was obviously a Cabal win, although it was fairly close right at the end there. Obviously Black Dwarf holds that vault, Corvus holds that one, the Cabal hold this one, the Cabal hold this one. Spider infected, Black Dwarf still has spider infected, so does Corvus, so they actually scored 4 that round. But the problem is that Baron Zemo, Doc Ock and Crossbones all had a spider infected as well, meaning that they have passed the score cap. They got to 18, but the Black Order did okay and got to 15. So that was an interesting first showing for the Black Order on the table. They did well. I love the Reality Stone and I feel like they did okay. There was just so many staggeringly good dice rolls for the Cabal there. 3 pivotal turning points at the very least, one of which was shown on camera, one which couldn't because of what Maw did after dying, or as he was dying. And there was at least one other I can't think of right now, but that was ridiculous. There was just so many good rolls. But the joke is on the Cabal, of course, because while the Black Order was keeping them busy here, their leader Thanos, using his Thanos copter, snuck into the Cabal's clubhouse and stole the remaining Infinity Stones that he needed. And he will now unleash his evil upon the universe, thanks to them and the time they wasted here today. So that does mean that the next time we'll be doing one of these is going to be the ultimate encounter against Thanos with the Infinity Gems. So I hope you look forward to that and the silly narrative we've now created for that. Thank you for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed. Please do remember to subscribe and show your support, it helps keep this possible. And until next time, ta for now.